A very good morning to you. Thank you very much for keeping it KBC Channel 1. This is the best place to be each and every Monday to Thursday. Remember, today is all about Entertainment Thursday. Happy holidays, in general, because today is all about Moi Day. And this is all in celebration of one and the only the former President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, who has taken the country to the next level. Here we're talking about his rule as president for so many years. But even as we talk about the period that our former president ruled the nation and ruled the country, we have to take into consideration one fact, that during his tenure, during his period, so many songs were sung because of the honor that was given to the former president Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. If you remember, kuna wimbo Tawala Kenya, Tawala, all right? If you remember, so many songs were sung. Remember, it's all about making sure that we give, the president, that honor, that respect with regards to him. And as we talk about music, because it's all about Entertainment Thursday, this is all about music. That song, Tawala Kenya, the composer of that song is joining me right here in studio, Bwana John Wesonga, even as we talk about music. Karibu sana, Bwana.
Thomas
Wesonga.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Sorry for that. And remember, if you talk about Kenyan music, you cannot fail to talk about the history of Kenyan music and fail to talk about Thomas Wesonga. And you've done quite a lot. And tunakushukuru sana kwa kutunga leo. Thank you very much for coming. You can be part of the conversation from home if you have any comments, if you have anything that you want to say with regards to this. The SMS lines at the top of your screen, our Twitter handle, our social media handles are also there at the bottom of your screen. So, Bwana Wesonga, I remember ni mwaka huu that we had a festival in Nakuru.
Yeah.
People, watu walikuwa wanaimba wimbo wako. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the teachers training.
Kama set piece kwa Kenya Music Festival.
Kwa Kenya Music Festival. People are competing, yeah?
Yeah.
And how does it feel right now, knowing that your piece of work imeenea and inatengenezwa hata kwa mashule, being sung at music festivals, kama set piece?
Kwangu ni kawaida tu kwa sababu ni talent ambayo Mungu alinipatia. Na mimi naona tu kama utumishi kwa wananchi.
Kwa wananchi. Watu wengine wanamitanga mwalimu.
Mwalimu ndio. Hiyo ndio jina langu kabisa.
Hiyo jina la mwalimu lilikuja kwa sababu gani?
Kwa sababu mimi mwenyewe ni mwalimu by profession. Alafu tena nimefunza Kenya yote kuanzia wakati wa Moi. Nilikuwa nafundisha music kwa kila mahali ninaenda. Ikiwa kwa sababu president alikuwa anatembea sana. Alikuwa anatembea Kenya yote, na kienda mahali wanaunganisha mashule yote ama vikundi vya waimbaji, alafu tunaweka pamoja, tunaita kitu inaitwa mass choir ya kama 1000, 2000 na kadhalika, na tunaimba. Kwa hivyo ndio jina la mwalimu likaendelea tu.
And nakumbuka pia, as you talk about wimbo wako Tawala Kenya, even humming that song, kuna wakati wa wengine wanasema kwamba ni makosa. Haufai kuhum, ni kama it was regarded as not being patriotic, as not being as enthusiastic for the nation. And I remember when people were singing the songs that you composed, they were really attaching it to the former president, the president Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Looking back at that, do you think that the country has evolved from the period that we used to sing, things like Tawala Kenya, and now that, we no longer sing songs to presidents, but it's just left out there, ukipenda wimbo, ukipenda wache?
To me, my compositions were not derived by some political interests, but it was an inspiration to the events that were happening during that time.
Yeah.
And first of all, they were not intended particularly for that particular leader, but it was an inspiration caused by what he was doing at that particular time.
Right.
Because initially people thought that maybe the former president sat with me and then told me to create songs. But it was just by coincidence, because the first my first composition was Kenya Yetu Nchi Nzuri, and that was in 1978. And I was originally not really on patriotic songs, but I was a teacher somewhere, and in Siaya, and I was training choir, church choirs at St. Michael's Catholic Church in Sigomre. So I started teaching African rhythms in the church. During that time, you know, the Catholic Church was doing a lot of Latin songs, and that brought a lot of interest for the young people and even the old generation. And later on, when President Moi took over from the late Mzee Kenyatta, then one of the officers of social services told me, "Can you also create a song, a patriotic song?" Then I said, "What is a patriotic song?" Then he said, patriotic song means a song about your country, and the events that are going on, peace, etc. I think that's the person who made me to be a patriotic music composer.
Because I remember you ulimba pia tushangilie Kenya.
Yes, that one came in later, because even President Moi had that song after about 6 years, because I composed it in 1978, and it was just for what he was doing. But it was not intended for him. But when I moved to Mombasa, because I changed my place of work to Mombasa, and then we formed Mombasa Teachers Choir, and when he came there, and the song was sung, and people became interested. First of all, it was not only that song. We sang other songs, and he was interested in the music because of the patriotic text that was inside.
Amongst all the songs that you composed, which one to you came out as maybe, I know they are all good, but one came out as one of the best songs, that one that you are really proud of, a piece of work that you can never forget?
To me, I'm proud of all my songs, and even I usually don't judge them. It is the public that judge them. But at the moment, the one that has overshadowed all over is Tuishangilie Kenya. Yes, but we had also Heko Jamhuri, which was composed in 1983 when we were celebrating 20 years of independence.
Wow.
Yes.
Wakati huo watu wengine wetu wako wamezaliwa hata.
No, you are not there.
Lakini mazoea Moi tulikuja kidogo.
Yeah, but not very much. I think you came late.
I came later on, baadaye wakati ilikuwa inaenda
Yes, those who drank it are now ministers, some are PSS, some are governors. Yes.
Tulikuja ile ya mwisho kabisa, ile chini wakati kibuyu imeisha. It's all about celebrating Moi Day.
Yes.
And remember kuna wakati yenye Moi Day iliweza kutolewa. It was not celebrated for a few years, but now it is back. What do you think about celebrating Moi Day in itself?
You know, history, you cannot rub it out. But, you know, with politicians, they have their game. We are not politicians.
Yeah.
We are patriotic Kenyans. We serve any leader that comes in. And that is what has even made me continue serving them up to now. I retire and still around, because my interest is my country, and therefore also leaders are created by God, and therefore you cannot become a leader if God doesn't want, and therefore it is us, the citizens, also to support them wherever we have elected them, give them time to lead us, and therefore such like utterances usually come when you have some political interests. But later on, people realized that truly the history was not cannot be robbed, because he played a major role in bringing peace to Kenya and unity. And we can remember those who were there earlier, like us. You see, we didn't have any commotion. The country was peaceful. In spite, all human beings must have the good side and also some little weaknesses.
All right.
Yes.
Everyone has weaknesses.
Yes.
Including all political
Myself
leaders,
and
even
everybody.
yourself.
Everybody. Yes.
We all have weaknesses. But you know, for some weaknesses stand out for Kenyans than others.
Yes.
And looking at how Moi Day, we are celebrating it nowadays, dating back to you know, the 80s. And you know, back then, the 70s, how we were celebrating Moi Day at that time, and now we're celebrating it now. Unaweza linganisha ni kama kuna tofauti?
Yes, there is a difference, because during that time the president was in power, and I can remember even when he was retiring, he is the one who asked Kenyans that now it should be celebrated in a small way, because he said it should just be a prayer day where we call we remember our country and also call for peace, etc. So, but during that time, it was being celebrated in a big way because he was in power. Yes.
I know later on, people started, you know, talking about giving back to the community. Doing selfless acts, you know, in honor of the country.
Yes.
Yeah. So that kind of change in how we celebrate it, how did it stand out for you? Did you, how would you prefer it to be, you know, celebrated? Was it okay just as it was?
I think that is the right way of celebrating it, because I think even the former president himself, meant it to be that way, because he wanted peace and sharing with any others, and you know, he was a very generous person. Yes, and I think that's why he said he should make it a prayer day, and also sharing with the needy, and also appealing to people for unity, national cohesion, etc.
Raised in Siaya, Wesonga.
Yes.
Yes.
Growing
up in Siaya, born in Nakuru.
Yes, born in Nakuru.
Born in Nakuru.
Yes.
I'm looking at you as a person. Umetembea Kenya.
Sana.
Yeah.
Sana. Sana.
Umefundisha, umekuwa mwalimu.
All over.
All over. And you've seen quite much.
Yes.
Even with regards to your age, you've seen a lot.
Yes.
And just to recap, how do you see the state of the nation, the state of Kenya, as of now, since independence? Kuna safari ambayo Kenya imepitia. We've come through a lot. I'm looking at the 2007 post-election violence, every election that we've had. I'm looking at the election that was there in, the year 2001 when President Moi was leaving power and handing over, power to the next president, that is former President Mwai Kibaki. Looking at how Kenya has been doing so far and how it has been run so far, are you proud of the nation?
Me personally, I'm very proud of our country and our people and even our leaders. We are very different from other people because if it is not that one, Kenya would have been very chaotic. But even our politicians, because what I love all of them is because when they are pushed too much, they also remember our country, that Kenya is first, not themselves. And that's why you always see even our politicians, even when they try to fight each other politically, and they see that the extent is going to damage Kenya, then they give in. And that is why even during those tensions that we had in 2007, you saw they realized that we cannot, let us differ, but we cannot allow Kenya to collapse. And we are back. And that is great because I think that was the intention of the father of the nation, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. After they got rid of the colonialists, he put Kenya together, and we were a united country. But these are just stages of nation. Even those developed countries had passed through those transitions. Yes, because we moved from this to that, because during the independence, we could talk of multi-parties, and then one party also played a major role to bring us together. And then again...
That was, you're talking about now, by then KANU?
Yes, KANU. You know, later on, immediately after independence, if we encourage a lot of parties, you know, we'd also be disintegrated, like other countries.
There was a time President Moi was saying,
yes,
ati ukabila
yes,
itaongezeka tukiwa na vyama mingi. Na mtanikumbuka.
Yes, during those days, at that particular time, we needed us to be united. And therefore, one party also played a major role. But then later on, as we grew, now we are mature enough. And we are in multi-party. And therefore, we can now continue with those ideologies.
Having so many parties, now that Kenya became a multi-party state,
yes,
was that a move to the right direction? I remember there was a time that debate was a lot, and the president was under pressure with regards to that.
Of course, true, because, you know, at the end, you know, with one party, other people misused it, and therefore you found that maybe the economy was controlled by a few people, but then when we have multi-parties, you will find now we have devolved governments, and now the benefits of the country is being shared by everybody.
Wakati huo ukisikia mtu amepelekwa kwa chief.
Yes.
Hapo ni kiboko sana.
Yes.
Yeah? When we had the DOs, the PCs, and the DCs, for that period of time, till we changed to now what we have right now, the county governments, devolution imetendeka. Are you proud of devolution?
I'm very proud of devolution, but as well, we need the administration to be there, because devolution brings up development very fast. But peace, we need the administration part of it, because you know, in devolved government and in multi-parties, we have different ideologies of the parties, and therefore there must be somebody neutral there, that can cool down tempers, like what you usually see when even the recent one, even yesterday you saw such. If you say they are just politicians, then you can finish each other. But you know, when you have an administration, they come in and then balance.
They come in and balance.
Yes.
So far we are good. We are doing good. When we talk about celebrating Moi Day,
yes,
ukisikia, because by then Moi Day ilikuwa na its own theme.
Yes.
You know? Yes. I remember you have led so many choirs.
Yes.
Yeah. There's even a clip. We will play those clips later on during this discussion. Yes. You know, you're so passionate. Yeah. You know, as people are singing in the choir. When you think about Moi Day as a day, as a national holiday, what comes into your mind?
Moi Day as a national day.
The first thing that
comes into my mind is the era during his time, because he was moving all over the country, putting people together, initiating development projects, and also he was also a disciplinarian, because he was not leaving people to go astray too much, because so you know, human beings, you have also to control. Yes, so that brings also discipline within the society. Yes,
he left a legacy.
Yes, he left a legacy. Yes.
Have we gone astray or far away from the kind of legacy that President Moi left for the country. And I'm looking at so many political leaders. Once they come into the country, they normally go to Kabarak, and they go to see him.
Yes.
So many ministers have gone, so many members of parliament have gone to see the former president, just to get his peace of mind.
Yes. As an elder, I think everybody needs, as an elder, he needs his feelings, his advice, because he has a lot of experience. But you know, time changes. We are in a different period. And therefore, the style of leadership now, you cannot do the same. You can be relevant. So even our current leaders, they know that, and that is why they know how to balance. Yes, because if you imitate what was happening during that time, this is a different generation, and therefore you must also go with what they want.
So how the former president used to lead the country by then might not be as relevant.
No, yeah,
now.
Yes, it may not.
But Wesonga, I like how you're bringing it out that leadership techniques are different.
Yes,
leadership styles are different, and regardless of the differences, do you think that at some point we need to have some form of cohesion within government, within leadership, so that we can be able to take the country to the next level? I'm looking at how we are celebrating Moi Day, yet at the same time we have so many vices at the same in the same country taking place at the same time. How do we bring cohesion within this system?
Cohesion doesn't mean you dictate, but you know, we are in a democratic society, and therefore everybody is allowed to air their views. What we need is that some control, but not to shut up people, because that is also their right. Yes, so that one we cannot avoid, and also the citizens are now mature enough, and they can interpret. They cannot just be misled. You know, we are not in those old ages.
Kama kitambo, when the president will say
this, yes.
It's different right now.
No, it is very different.
Kenyans are more aware.
Yeah, they are very aware and very alert. Yes, yes.
And
you cannot take them for granted. No. Yes.
We used to have so many people who used to mimic the former president.
Yes.
Yes. Tingiza kidore.
Yes.
Kidore. During the era of Kanu.
Yes.
When you look at the president himself,
yes,
are you proud of the steps he took with regards to taking the country to the next level after he took over power from the former president Mzee Jomo Kenyatta?
Yes, he was a very intelligent person. I think now is when people are understanding him, because I remember I was a youth during that time when he took over, and I saw even how he started running his government. First of all, he didn't bring up abrupt change.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was felt.
Yeah. So, but he went on very slowly, but gradually, even shaping his government. And that's why he came up with the word Nyayo, which means I will follow the footsteps of the old person, because he wanted to build up gradual cohesion, because you know, when you take over from a previous leader and you bring abrupt change, you will have reactions very fast.
And opposition.
And you may not even survive. So you go slowly until you know which area I can correct and which area I can drop, and then you will pick it up, and then you will be your own.
And that's how leadership is.
Yes.
You don't just take power
and
then want to bring changes 1, 2, 3.
Oh, if you do that, you'll collapse very fast. Yes.
Very quickly.
And that's what made him to reign for long. 24 years. 24 it's not a joke. And again, you see, when he saw that now the people needs change. And he gave in and allowed the democracy to be there. And he also said now somebody else can take over, and that is why we have peace in Kenya. those countries, there's a president continues there, you will find at the end they have chaos and the country is destroyed.
There was a time that he was speaking in a public forum that he recommended the current president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. He said, now you kijana. Yeah? And looking at that, he was a visionary man. Do you think that at some point he was very strategic in how he led the country? And do you also believe that the former president, President Moi, was at the same time building a nation that understands its own values and ethics?
Yeah, you have just mentioned the point. You know, I was there. I was there physically because I was the one coordinating all those entertainment programs. And
you were there on that day?
Physically, I was there. Yes, I was there, and I experienced all those interesting things. A lot, maybe they can be written in a book.
They should
we were in Mount Elgon, and we had, you know, during that time, we had all these our leaders together. From the late Saitoti, Honorable Raila Odinga, Mudavadi, Kalonzo, and others, all of them were there.
There were so many of them.
And the young man, yes, by then he was very young.
But then very young.
Yes, youthful.
And
then he just, after I organized a lot of entertainments and people were very happy there, then he came up and then said that watu wananiuliza mara kwa mara, nifanye hivi nafanya hivi, lakini mimi naona huyu. Yeah. We were so surprised.
You were surprised?
Everybody was surprised in there because even people did not expect that he was going to talk about such. And even the young man was surprised because that person is so good. Because I could, because I was the one leading the singing with other groups. But I was not the one that was singing, but I was bringing in other teams which were there. Then we put in some music there and they started singing, and then he told the young man, join them.
I remember he told him to stand up.
Stand up, and he was reluctant.
He joined him at the podium.
Yes, and they were all seated there. Yeah. Yes, but it seems he had seen something far, but also, you know, that is how God works. Maybe, you know, you cannot be a leader when God doesn't say at this particular time you are the ones who is going to be there. Yeah, so it means God had prepared the young man. We went all through his campaigns. We were all over. There were also other incidences we were experiencing during because people, you know, there was a lot of reactions after that. But now people are seeing that he was seeing very far.
Because by then
maybe God was using him to
the year that this took place was ilikuwa kitambo sana.
Yes.
Till the year that now the current president Uhuru Kenyatta took power.
Yes.
You know, so a lot had happened between that duration. But still, his own, do we say prophecy or his own recommendation still had its way.
Yes, but what I also saw in the current president is that to him he was not enthusiastic so much that you know, even when the then president mentioned him, he just took it as casually, just like that. Yeah, that's how he took it. And even throughout his campaign, I would see him. To him, it was, he didn't even care whether he goes through. If the Wananchi wants him, no problem. If Wananchi don't want him, no problem. That's the way I was seeing, and I think that's what has helped him to be accepted by Kenyans, because they are also reading him and then saying, "Oh, this person, he's not thinking about himself, but he's thinking about the public." And maybe that is what the old man saw in him. Yes.
So, Bwana Thomas Wesonga.
Yes.
There is someone is asking me through our SMS line, what position do you currently hold?
I am a retired government officer.
And your your real name?
My real name is Mwalimu Thomas Wesonga. Yes, I'm a retired government officer, and I'm still contracted to do some work for the government in that position in public events.
Public events.
In the office of the president.
Bado unatembea kidogo sisi.
Yeah, natembea kidogo.
Over 60 years and you're still this strong.
Yeah, because of God's blessing. Yes. Yes.
God's blessing.
Yes.
Na shino unakula nini mimi naweza kuikula?
Nakula vitu vya Kiafrika. Chakula ya Kiafrika.
Mboga tu kama kawaida.
Mboga, uji, kadhalika.
Mboga, uji.
Yes.
Those who like pizza, poleni sana.
Yes, okay.
Over 60 years and you're looking this strong.
Yeah.
But keep the SMSs coming in. Remember to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. The SMS line is 20154. Make sure that you start with the word Channel 1. On Twitter, the hashtag is Good Morning Kenya. Tag me at Ramaguko. My colleagues handle at Jane Wamboi, and that Ray Manyara at KBC Television is also the Twitter handle officially. The hashtag, remember, is KBC Television. But Bona Wesonga, as we've talked about your song, yeah?
Yes.
Now let's take a look at what you did, that piece of song, right here on KBC. Take a look at this. Quite an interesting song. You will love it.
Yes.
But that was very specific to the president.
Yes, but it was not intended directly to him because he even had it after 6 years.
He had it after 6 years.
Yes.
You are so young.
Yes. Yeah. I was just from a teacher training college, and I was a young teacher. Yes.
And that choir, what choir was okay? What kind of composition in terms of the people that were there did it have?
This was secondary school children. This was some schools from Kisumu, Ahero Girls, Migingo, Kisumu Technical, which is now Polytechnic, I think so.
Okay.
There were about there are about 4 schools in Kisumu, and we picked few students, and they came and recorded this. They are the ones who recorded this, but the others are bigger choirs.
Okay.
This was just for the studio. We recorded it at the Kenya Institute of Education.
Remember, such kind of things cannot be found elsewhere except KBC. By then, when KBC was called the Voice of Kenya, VOK.
1986.
1986.
Yes, this one.
You cannot find any things like that anyway. It's like one of my mentors say, you can't make such things up.
Everything was KBC.
Everything was KBC.
Yeah, here with the Leonard Mambo and others.
Yes. Yeah, you have a sharp memory.
Yes.
Yeah. You still remember all those, including the years and the dates.
I recorded here several times.
This studio, Vanyiko?
It was not as big as this. It was smaller. Yes.
I think maybe it was on the other side.
I don't know the other side. I don't know, but I know it was a studio like, but smaller one.
Looking at how now evolution has taken place.
Yes.
Kenya has grown.
Yes.
Let's talk about, how we are talking about coverage
Yes.
in terms of information that is outside.
Yes.
By then, information used to come from one source.
Yes.
And ilikuwa, kama unataka kusikiza radio, unaweka KBC between some period of time, because there was a time that it was shut down, kuna wakati inazimwa, na kuna wakati inafunguliwa. As KB, by then VOK, and you can remember the timings, yeah, from ilikuwa saa ngapi? Saa sita.
Yes.
Saa sita usiku ama mchana
Kufungwa ilikuwa nafunga saa sita.
Saa sita. Yeah, and
saa 12 asubuhi wanafungua, alafu tena inaendelea saa 7 tena. Yes. The TV was not throughout. It wasn't throughout.
Do you think that nowadays, in terms of information, Kenyans know more? Are Kenyans as exposed as they should be? Ukiangalia kitambo venye kulikuwa, ukisikia hata mambo ya Moi Day, information would spread differently in different parts of the country as compared to right now, with how information is spreading right now. And you look at the news, politics, siku hizi inasambaratika haraka sana kuliko vile ilikuwa inasambaratika. And by then, if you tune into KBC, you see that beep, toot, toot, and then the first thing, Rais Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi alikuwa katika, things like that.
Yes.
How do you say?
The media plays a major role in promoting national cohesion and also bringing unity and peace.
Yeah.
And I think that's what has been weakened now, because although we are blaming ourselves that the young people are not patriotic, but I think the media should play more major role in that, so that they highlight some particular programs on patriotism.
Or we need some programs.
Yes, we need, because even the reason why people are together, etc. You always hear, even before news, you hear some message there. If it is not, if music are talking about peace, etc.
Yeah.
But these days most of the what is being relayed in the media is just general entertainment, which doesn't have a proper message to educate.
You feel we don't have much solid content?
Yes, educative content.
Educative content.
Yes, because I listen very widely to other stations, even the foreign ones. I usually wake up very early, listen to BBC, listen to Voice of America, the Shabelle of West Germany, and we find that we have more information than ours. Our local stations are concentrating a lot of just general programs that do not have an educative effect on the citizen, especially the youth. And that's why even now, even today, when you ask the majority of the youth, they will not even tell you that today is what. Even 20th, they don't know. Yes, because even I have young children. Sometimes you even ask them, what is the capital of Isiolo? Then somebody asks you, Isiolo is where? And this somebody is beyond Form 4. So you see, it means there's something missing. I don't know whether it is in school or what. Yes. So I think it is better that we revive those. We have more of educative programs, catering all sectors. Yeah. In the morning now, I have heard, when I listen to BBC, I can hear what is happening in Turkey or all over there. They have even programs that it's in Kibera here. They have a lot of educative programs about something that is going on in Kibera, and this is being relayed in London, not us. Yes.
And I'm looking at how information now is. Someone like you might want to look at the youth, because when you were still young, there is the way that you used to handle yourselves at that time. And as of now in 2019, things have changed to the way the youths now are handling themselves. I don't know if that is something that you feel can be true with relation to now media, how we relay information about what's happening around the country. How do you see it? Are youths really the same? Are things moving on the same? Are things getting worse or better? Na ukiangalia pia jinsi media iko, umesema we need more educative content that will educate the youth.
And that is what the former president was really talking about the future of the youth and what they should look like. Yes, because they are the nation, and we don't call them future leaders, but they are the current leaders. Because I remember, do you know, almost a third of those who are holding positions in the government are those who passed through this program I was doing, the mass choirs. These top people in the government, and if we may mention even some names, and which means they were inspired by what was going on, and that is what made them now to be leaders, and now they are in charge of the country.
But Bwana Wesonga, Mwalimu, at that time, you remember there was a NYS.
Yes.
Lazima uende kwa NYS kwanza after you finish your Form 4,
yes,
before you go and further your education. But nowadays it's not there.
I think that thing should also be brought back. And you know, the former president was very firm on that. And I can remember every year we are going for graduations, I was organizing choirs, well, NYS choirs there, and they sing, and then they graduate, and they go to various sectors, and now they build the nation. So NYS should be revived, and especially those who finish Form 4, they should go there. It gives more discipline and patriotism within the young people, and when they grow up, they become responsible.
You feel we should bring it back?
Kabisa.
Kabisa. Ilikuwa nafundisha watu tabia na adabu, discipline.
Discipline. And the lady in charge, I know, is a very firm person, because I've worked with the lady, the person who is in charge there, and she can do well.
She can do well?
Yes.
Ulipanda, I'm sure ulipanda, basi za Nyayo.
Yes.
You saw them?
Yes.
How do you look at the transport sector now, the way things have changed nowadays? Nowadays you have matatus moving in, minibuses came, Nissans came, challenge to the Kenya bus services.
You know, being a leader is a very difficult position. The intention of the former president was so good, and it was wonderful. You know what, those beautiful buses came in, they really almost solved the problem of transport. But as usual, you know, people that he delegated to be in charge, they made the project collapse. And I think I'm hearing the government, it seems they are initiating something like that again. Maybe we'll have, not necessarily to be run by the government, or something like that. Because I was last week, but when I was in Dar es Salaam during Jama Fest festival, this one, Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, where the member states come together and they display their innovations and also cultural programs. And I saw Tanzanians have a very beautiful system of transport. The buses, it looks like what I saw in Washington or Britain.
You're talking about the BRT system?
Yes, because they have that. So I think even our NYS buses, the Nyayo buses, would have worked very well. I don't know whether those ones are owned by the state or they're privately owned in Tanzania, but that's a good example. Yes.
And it kind of flopped, the Nyayo buses and the Kenya bus services, and I remember, you know, the conductors walikuwa wanabeba you know, some instrument, it goes around the arm, and then ilikuwa mzito. Hiyo kitu hata ukigonga mtu nayo, and you get your receipts from there. It's still there right now.
Yeah, but we are now in a digital period. Even those ones in Tanzania, they don't use that. You go to a station and you pay, and then the receipts. So you know that one also encourages corruption. That's one handling physical money. So they use different ways of it. And you know, those projects that the former president were doing, and especially the building gabions on so protecting soil erosion. You see, he was participating there physically. I could remember when he went to Makuyu in Muranga. We are going there nearly every year. And these days when you go there, it is forest. Very beautiful. It was a very dry place during that time. I remember even then the Naivasha. You know, Naivasha was a very dusty place. You were not there.
I was not there.
Yes,
Educate us.
Yes, but when he came in and then said that wild environment, and that's why, you know, my music, you know, people just thought it was just Tawala Kenya. Tawala Kenya was just a signature tune to crown the functions of the president. But every function that he was having, I was creating a song which has a theme of that particular day.
Okay.
If it is,
you customize it.
Yes. If it is, if he is going to deal with Nyai words, then I must have a theme song for that. That's relevant to that. If it is building gabions and soil erosion, I will have Kulinda Mazingira and kadhalika. If it is a cooperative day, I have that, and then we'll have these other songs. Yes.
I remember the former president opened so many schools.
Yes.
Across the country,
so many. He was very interested in education.
He loved education.
He loved, and he changed a lot of them. Because even Alliance, you know, he was not looking like that. Many schools all over Kenya. Yes.
I remember how Thika Road used to be Kitambo when it was not yet built.
Yes.
At least I managed to see that. We thank God for that. Hatukupoteza kila kitu.
Yes, but Thika Road was done during President Kibaki. They are the ones who planted.
And I'm looking at now how it used to be back then.
Yes.
In terms of road construction in the country. For those who are fans of social media, you might have come across some pictures of how Moi Avenue used to be like during the tenure of the President Moi. How the city stadium used to be like. Kenco.
Yes, I can remember even there was a time when the city council was dissolved, and then he brought in some other people to lead, and he brought in somebody called Brigadier Shigoli, something like that. You know, he's the one who planted these trees along. He was using a lot of Tharax, but it helped. It helped a lot, yes, because he was really harassing the city council workers, and they had to plant all trees.
These trees within the city?
Trees you see, yes. And it is unfortunate, even now Uhuru Park is becoming something like no trees. Even they are not even replacing the trees. I don't know what is happening now with the city hall, because the old trees are growing old and nothing is happening.
They're not planting new ones.
Yeah, they are not planting new ones, and now even we have even closer people, and he is going around, the president, on all those things, and especially on environment. He really helped, because I'm also seeing even in my place. I think now we are even more facilitated than before. We can do more because even with the county governments. But the rivers are drying and nobody is caring. Even in my place, rivers are becoming seasonal, and they were there and nobody is caring, and even we have departments that are dealing with that. So I'm asking myself what is happening. But you know, during that time, the president could walk there and then plant
But now
People are building where you find somebody building a home at where the river source is and the river dries. I don't know who should be monitoring that. I don't know. Yes. So
it's all about leadership failure.
It is it leads here, but now this one should not be the president himself. It should go to the county government. Because those are things
because of devolution.
Yes, because of devolution. Yeah. Although I think the Minister for the Environment should be monitoring them and reminding them what's happening. Yes.
We have a monument at Uhuru Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With some logo.
Yes.
Yeah. By then, Uhuru Park used to be a place where I don't know if it is true. These are just things that I sit with my elders and hear that you know, you would take your girlfriend out on a date to Uhuru Park.
Yes. Uhuru Park is very bad. I can remember Uhuru Park. You know, I was the first. My first performance was in Uhuru Park.
Your very first.
That is in national public. Because it was in 1983. 1983. When we were celebrating 20 years of independence. I was still a teacher in Mombasa, but they had identified me the previous year as a composer of patriotic music. So the president, and that's the only song I was told to compose, Heko Jamhuri. All these other songs, they come on their own. Because they said, can you compose a song celebrating 20 years of independence? And I organized a choir of teachers, about 200, both primary and secondary in Mombasa, and then with 2,000 children. And they travel by train. Yes, by train. There are some people, there are some ministers, they were in that, like Dr. Wario, he told me he was amongst them. I didn't know. They were young. Yes, so we brought them here. The 2,000 from Mombasa, they were the ones to sing here on that particular Uhuru Park. And on that day, the Uhuru Park was so beautiful. It was well prepared. You know, it was built by the army. And the same week is when Nyayo Stadium was being officially opened. Nyayo Stadium, and it was opened at night. Yes, and we had several presidents all over. Our president Moi, Uganda Bote, Nyerere was there, and these southern ones, the one from Ethiopia, Butu. There were several of them there on that day. So the place was beautiful.
It was a beautiful place, huh?
But now you find it has changed. We need some work on it.
Speaking of beauty and smartness, as we bring this discussion to a close, the former president used to be very smart.
Very smart. Huh? Very, very smart.
Very smart. Yes. I know he used to have something.
Yes, some flour here.
Have a final word concerning Moi Day. Speak to Kenyans. Tell Kenyans one word as we talk about celebrating Moi Day as a national holiday.
Moi Day is a great day. Not really talking about Moi as an individual, but because of the intention of that particular day. And therefore, what I should appeal to Kenyans is that to celebrate Moi Day, let us think about ourselves as a united society, united people, not bothering about our ethnic diversity. Also thinking about how we can develop our country the way the president is doing, the deputy and other leaders, so that we continue building our country and we live in peace.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much. That is Bwana Thomas Mwalimu Thomas Wesonga.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Asante
You've done quite a lot of work, and may you live long.
Yes.
You still have a lot of energy.
Yes. Now we are just moving to Mashujaa Day.
Hope you will perform there.
Even if I don't perform, but I coordinate performing.
You will coordinate performing.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That is Bwana Mwalimu Wesonga joining us this morning, speaking about celebrating Moi Day. How do you see Moi Day? What is the memory that you get when you think about Moi Day? Well, you can be part of this conversation. Give us your take. KBC Entertainment Thursday is on right here on Good Morning Kenya. Keep it locked right here because we shall be playing you more of these patriotic songs that have been sung.